In the headlines, Northern Youth storm National Assembly, demand sack of National Security Advisor. 4 students celebrating end of West Africa Secondary School Certificate examination at Lagos Beach drown. National Union of Electricity Employees shuts down Transmission Company of Nigeria Regional Station in Kaduna. And on the foreign scene, multiple bomb explosion and arson attacks rock southern Thailand. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Nten Ekman. And on the news in full, youths under the aegis of Arewa Youth Assembly on Wednesday protested at the main gate of the National Assembly, demanding the sack of the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Monguno, retired, over rising insecurity in the country. The youths argued that the inability of President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration to stem the tide of insecurity is not unconnected to the bad advisors he has on security, adding that under the watch of Monguno, terrorists have been emboldened. Addressing journalists during the protest, Publicity Secretary Aliyu Muhammad of the AOIA maintained that Monguno had failed to bring needed synergy among security forces fighting various criminalities, hence the reasons the security agents have faced off. The youth leader vowed that the group would mobilize and hold a massive protest across the 19 northern states if the president refuses to sack the NSA by Friday. And tragedy struck on Tuesday at the Elegushi Beach in the Lekki area of Lagos State after 4 teenagers drowned while swimming in the water. The 4 were among 10 secondary school students aged between 14 and 15 who went to swim at the beach to celebrate the completion of their West Africa Senior School examination. They were said to be people of the Kuramo Senior College Lekki. Spokesperson for the Elegushi Beach Management, Ayuba Elegushi, in a statement said the pupils were not properly registered. He noted that the incident happened at an unmanned section of the beach not open to the public. The victims were said to have raised the alarm as the water swept them away. Elegushi said some lifeguards plunged into the water and brought out the 6 people. The spokesperson said the 2 boys that were arrested told the police that they were chased from the beach before they sneaked into the restricted section in order to swim. The State Police Public Relations Officer Benjamin Hondain confirmed the incident, adding that investigation was ongoing. A shopping mall at Likali Ayorinde Junction, Victoria Island, Lagos was on Wednesday gutted by fire. The inferno started in the early hours of Wednesday in one of the shops where combustible items such as tires and car batteries were stored. The Southwest Coordinator, National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Ibrahim Farinloye, confirmed the incident. He said the fire has been brought under control after officials of the state and federal fire services battled to put it out. The cause of the inferno is yet to be ascertained. Farinloye said an investigation was ongoing and the report will be made available upon completion. Detectives of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in Niger State have arrested an 18-year-old student of the College of Fisheries Technology, New Busa, Burgu local government area of Niger State, Umar Imam, for allegedly threatening to kidnap the provost and other staff of the college. The suspect was alleged to have written a letter threatening to kidnap the provost and some staff of the college before he was detected and apprehended. Public Relations Officer of Niger State Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Nasir Abdullahi, said the suspect was arrested after the commandant of the command, A.M. Tantare, received the information and directed men of the Intelligence and Investigation Unit to get him arrested. He said the suspect, who hailed from Gunagi village in Edati local government area of Niger State, was apprehended in the school and had confessed to the crime, but his accomplice, one Umar Baba Doko, was still at large. President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday swore in the newly appointed chairman of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission (RMAFC), Mohammed Bello Shehu. The new RMAFC chairman was administered an oath in the council chamber of the State House in Abuja just before the president presided over the weekly Federal Executive Council FEC meeting. After the brief ceremony, Mohammed Bello Shehu told State House correspondents that although the task ahead of him is daunting, he is certain that the Commission will assist the Buhari-led administration to block leakages, generate more revenue for the Federation, and implement its constitutional responsibility. As one of the 14 constitutional commissions, the RMAFC chairman maintained that he will ensure that the Commission's independence is upheld as enshrined within the Constitution. The suspended General Secretary of the Nigerian Bar Association, Joyce Ojua, has filed a suit at the Federal High Court, Abuja, against the association, its national executives, and the Inspector General of Police. In the suit filed by her counsel Murtala Abdul Rashid SAN, Ojua is challenging her suspension from office after an emergency meeting held by the National Executive Committee on Monday, 15th of August 2022. She claimed that her purported suspension as the General Secretary of the Nigerian Bar Association (NBA), pursuant to the resolution of the emergency meeting of the National Executive Committee of the NBA held on the 15th of August 2022, is unconstitutional, null, void, and of no effect whatsoever. This, she said, is because the suspension violates Section 36 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, Sections 239, 242, and 288 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 and the Constitution of the Nigerian Bar Association 2015 as amended in 2021. You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, why price of Garri remains high. Please stay with us. documenting the Nigerian story. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching News Update on Trust Television. Now a recap of our top stories. Northern youth storm National Assembly, demand sack of National Security Advisor. And 4 students celebrating end of West Africa Secondary School certificate examination at Lagos Beach drown. And to more stories now, former Interior Minister, retired General Abdurrahman Dambazao, wants security agencies in the country to take the fight to armed groups terrorizing the nation and taking over ungovernable spaces. Dambazao gave the advice at the Blueprint annual lecture with the theme 2023 Politics, National Security and Nigeria's Stability in the International Conference Center, Abuja. He also advocates for a comprehensive security sector reforms in the country. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman reports.
During his presentation, General Dambazao highlights the challenges in Nigeria's security sector and the missing link in dealing with the existential and contemporary challenges.
We must be proactive, using aggressive covert and overt operations. And those arrested must be thoroughly investigated, prosecuted, and if found guilty, punished according to the law. For all terrorists and kidnappers, the punishment must be severe and certain.
As the nation moves towards general elections next year, the former army chief says addressing the security issues must be the top priority of the nation's leaders and the critical stakeholders.
Identity politics resulting from the politicization of religion and ethnicization of politics is another factor have far-reaching consequences on the 2023 politics.
We want to therefore use this opportunity to call on the federal government of Nigeria, on whose shoulders rests our national security, to do more to protect lives of citizens from terrorists, bandits, and other militias that are rampaging our cities.
In their various interventions, discussants at the lecture underscored the imperatives of addressing the bottleneck and implementing the necessary strategies aimed at dealing with the security situation.
There is no, this is the way it is done in America, this is the way it is done in Germany. Each nation is going to develop what is appropriate for its own environment.
Then who are those that are responsible to solve these challenges? You can't have those that are causing trouble, coming up with challenges, to be the same persons you think that will solve it.
It is the issue of lack of framework and synergy of effort and coordination that brought us into the quagmire we are experiencing today.
Let us come together to ease the pain of today while working for the gain of tomorrow. Let us set aside our differences because we are first all human before religions and ethnic differences.
The lecture series, which was chaired by the Yobe State Governor Memala Buni, had in attendance stakeholders in the Nigerian project, including traditional leaders amongst others. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Hundreds of residents in Nguru local government area of Yobe State are forced out of their residences following a flash flood that took over the entire Zangong Kanwa area of the town, destroying many businesses. Trust TV's correspondent Idris Jibin reports that residents say they no longer feel safe due to increasing threats of building collapse as a resort to using local boats to access their homes.
Houses abandoned, businesses destroyed, and residents attempting to salvage what remains of their property around Zangong Kanwa, Nguru local government area of Yobe State.
Honestly, this water is disturbing us. It has been disturbing us. Not only us, anybody that is passing through this road, this water remains a problem. In fact, even the mosque that we used to pray, we can't pray in that mosque any longer. Our parents have left their homes. They are also gone. And we have been complaining to the authorities. The local government chairman was here to see this place. Even the commissioner was here to see this place. But up till now, nothing has been done.
Following a recent downpour, residents say a flash flood overpowered their drainage system, leaving many homeless around this area. Over the last 30 years, Zongwang Kanwa area has been experiencing flash flood due to the lack of drainage system. Despite the community's repeated complaint to local government authorities, every year they had to deploy local boats as means to cross over from one part of these streets to the other.
For me, I'm living in this area. I'm doing my business in this area. And this water has remained a problem for us. Each time, each rainy season, this is how we stay. We leave our business, we leave our houses, we leave everything around here. And nothing is being done to help us. Right now, as I'm talking to you, most of our families, some of them are at the filling station, some of them are at the mosque, and many of them, we have sent them to their relatives because we don't have a place to keep them.
Meanwhile, chairman of Unguru local government area confirmed that efforts are ongoing to assist the affected victims and ensure that everyone returns back to their homes.
We have been working on drainage system across Guru local government, and as I am talking to you now, His Excellency the Governor has sent a special committee to come and investigate the recent flood and provide a permanent solution. We are providing relief materials to anybody that is affected by the flood. In fact, 2 trucks of relief materials have already arrived Guru from Damaturu, and we are waiting for the rest to come. Then we start distributing them to all the affected victims.
Well,
this is not a bush, neither an outskirt of a town. It is at the heart of Guru local government area of Yobe State. And residents say they can no longer access their homes. Everywhere is covered and it's overpowered by water. But they are waiting for authorities to come to their aid so that this water can go away. And while they wait, their suffering may likely continue to increase. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Yobe.
Now, Gari is arguably Nigeria's most patronized staple food and is popular with every class of the population. Despite being consumed by almost all, not many are familiar with the process of converting cassava tubers to what is known as Gari. In this report, Trust TV's Hamid Oyegbade highlights the process of making Gari and the challenges facing Gari producers as price soars in recent times. His report is presented from our studios.
Easy to prepare and cheap to buy, Gari is one of the staple foods in Nigeria that cuts across all tribes. It is the creamy, granular flour obtained by processing the starchy, tuberous roots of freshly harvested cassava. The Yoruba people of southwest region of Nigeria make eba from Gari and eat with okra or egusi soup. Gari can be soaked in cold water and consumed with milk and sugar plus or minus roasted granules. Gari is predominantly a preoccupation of locals in villages and communities. A Gari producer at Owodede in Osun State, Shakiru Akinola, explained the process of making Gari from cassava.
The process of making Gari is not long and not difficult. So the first thing to do is to go to farm and get cassava. After getting cassava, we bring it down to this Gari processing industry here. So they will now peel the Gari and the cassava. After peeling, they will wash the cassava to make it neat so that all the sand will come out from it. So after washing, they will take it down to the grinding machine. The grinding machine is to make the cassava grinded. After you grind it finish, you will pack inside the rice sack. After we pack inside the rice sack, we leave it for some days to allow the water to come out. After 3 or 4 days, we take the cassava down to jacking machine. We bring it out to sieve the cassava with this ashe. So after that, you put inside the fire to make it fry. After making it fry, that is how you get your gari. After that, you can drink it gari, or you make with eba with it, or some other food that you can make gari with.
Another producer, Bojubola Mojere, says she makes gains sometimes and record losses also, depending on patronage by consumers. People should buy gari for personal consumption. I have plenty of gari in stock for sale. You too can buy gari from me after this interview. That's how you can help me. We need more patronage now because of the quantity in the store. The inflation has affected patronage. In the past, when we produced gari here, people would buy everything same day. But it is not so anymore. Most people are broke now and angry. May God help us. Despite the recent increase in price and seeming lull in patronage, many believe that with time, buyers and sellers will reach a compromise due to the importance of the staple food to Nigerians.
The Kano State Court of Appeal has dismissed an appeal filed against a High Court judgment that ordered the retrial of blasphemous charges against Aminu Sharif Yahaya. In delivering judgment virtually on Wednesday, Justice Abubakar Moazu Lamido ruled that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria empowers states through their assemblies to make laws. He ruled that Nigeria's Constitution recognized that there is freedom of religion but does not allow adoption of a state religion. The court affirmed that the Kano State Sharia Penal Code of 2000 does not contravene Nigeria's constitution. Aminu Sharif Yahaya, who was convicted and sentenced to death by Sharia court in Kano in August 2020, had earlier asked the Kano High Court to squash the judgment. Prisons congestion is still a big challenge in the Northeast as hundreds of inmates still languish at correctional facilities, often because of delay in dispensation of justice. This came to the fore when a Northeast-based organization visited the Jimeta Medium Security Custodial Center in Adamawa State, populated by 700 inmates. Salis Lawan reports.
Initially built for 300 inmates, Jimeta Medium Security Custodial Center now has over 700 inmates, a situation many described worrisome and challenging. This group said the inmates need to be assisted not only by the government but also individuals and organizations.
Gidan prison din nan akwai mutane waɗanda suke a tsare waɗanda bayan Allah ne su ma ba sa samu masu yawon kwata-kwata.
Actually, the conditions of the inmates here require more action to be good. Although governments are trying, but more need to be done to better their condition. There are over 700 in these facilities that was initially built to accommodate only 300 inmates.
Circumstances that lead to the imprisonment of some of the inmates make of the visitors to shed tears as they call for speedy trial in some of the awaiting trial cases.
I believe some of you are here not like to say you plan to be. Please, let this experience of yours guide you to be good citizens. Please, once again, I'm pleading with you, let this be the first and the last you will commit any offense. We at our level, we ensure justice is served to you.
I feel disturbed for seeing you here, looking at majority of you being youth which ordinarily supposed to be somewhere helping yourself and people around you. I beg of you, please my brothers, be of good character whenever you are out to avoid coming back.
The Deputy Controller of Prison in charge of the Jamaica Medium Security Custodial Center, Mohammed Juta, appreciated the visitors for supporting the inmates with donations.
We thank you so much for this gesture done to our inmates, and I assure you a judicious distribution of the items. Our major challenge is lack of trade. We need to be having trading skills to the inmate. Please consider these aspects whenever you are bringing any intervention to the inmate.
The story at Jamaica Medium Security Custodial Center is similar to what other custodial centers across the country are confronted with. Salis Lawan, Trust TV News, Yola.
In business, members of the National Union of Electricity Employees NUEE have withdrawn their services at the Kaduna Regional Headquarters of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. In line with directives of the union's national leadership, the TCN Kaduna Regional Station covers 4 northwestern states of Kaduna, Kebbi, Sokoto, and Zamfara. On Wednesday, NUEE officials picketed the Mando TCN station in the Kaduna state capital, shutting down operations and thereafter forcing workers out of the company's premises before locking the gate with their own key. The electricity union is protesting the non-payment of outstanding arrears owed the former workers of the defunct Power Holding Company of Nigeria, PHCN, suspension of conditions of service and career path for workers, and the directive by the TCN board to conduct promotion interviews for acting principal managers who are moving to assistant general managers. On the foreign scene, explosions and fires ripped through at least 17 locations in southern Thailand on Wednesday, authorities said, in what appeared to be multiple coordinated attacks that injured 7 people. The bombings and arson attacks happened after midnight and targeted convenience stores and a gas station across 3 provinces, lightly injuring at least 7, according to police and military statements. No one has claimed responsibility for the attack so far. Now, provinces in southern Thailand along the border with Malaysia have seen a decade-long low-level insurgency in which the Thai government has battled shadowy groups seeking independence for the predominantly Muslim provinces of Pattani, Yala, Nathawiat, and parts of Songkhla. And with our story, we conclude News Update this hour. For more, to connect with us across all our social media platforms. I am Nten Ekpang. Many thanks for watching.